Hello, Lady Boss community. Welcome to another episode of Lady Boss Talks Live. I am your host, Judy, and I'm joined today by Deborah McCormick. Do you want to be called Deborah or Debbie? Do you care?
Debbie works. Everybody calls me Debbie.
Debbie? Okay. So
Sure.
I'm joined today by Debbie, and she's got a wonderful topic of digital assets. I know that it's a huge topic nowadays, and I love this because I don't know enough about it. I'd love to learn. So this is the perfect opportunity for our viewers. If you're watching and you want to leave a comment during the live, you have to give StreamYard permission. I'm just reading my instructions here, but I think the instructions are right there in the broadcast. Just give StreamYard your permission so that you can actually post comments, because we'd love for you to participate and ask questions. I'm going to be monitoring the chat, like I've got my phone here, and I'm going to be monitoring the chat on my laptop. So, Debbie, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, I hope to give you a little bit of value around money today so that you understand how money works, but also so that you can use this information to, take control of your financial future. Because you don't know what you don't know. And you know what? The right information can really cause a transformation. And this is what it did for me. So I learned a new skill set that actually pays me like a pension now. So just,
Awesome.
yeah. So just a little bit of background about me. So I was a teacher for 36 years in Barrie, actually north of Toronto, and Newmarket for many years. I taught French immersion. And I really loved what I did. And honestly, I thought I'd work till I was 100. I never, ever thought of doing anything else. And because it was my passion, right? So then life threw me a curveball. I had a neck injury and my arm was like completely numb and almost non-functional for about 10 months, actually. I was in severe pain too. But I remember thinking, what if I don't regain the use of my arm? I'm not going to be able to go back to school and wipe snotty noses and tie shoes. It was a wake up call for me. I didn't have a plan B. So I had to rethink my retirement plan. So I figured while I was off and staring at the four walls and feeling sorry for myself, I might as well learn something, right? So I thought I'd like to learn about the financial markets. So I didn't know anything about the financial markets. Trust me. I used to pay somebody, right, to look after my portfolio. But what I did know was that the financial markets was the biggest wealth bubble in the world, right? And the proof came actually to light around the time that my mom and dad had to be moved from the country into like a retirement community, where they would have a bungalow and it would cost them $5,500 a month, right? And I remember thinking, whoa, this is a lot of money. And I remember having a conversation with my dad, just wondering if, he'd be able to afford this for the next 30 years or whatever. And I remember him saying to me, no, I'm good. I'm good. And I was kind of wondering how are you going to be able to afford this? Because I knew that when he retired at 55, he did not have a pension, right? So he told me, no, I made some really profitable investments in the stock markets. And I remember automatically assuming that it was probably in commodities like gold and silver, because he was in the mining industry, right? And knew about that. But he said, no, I invested in TD stocks, right?
Hmm.
So we all know that the banks make trillions of dollars like quarterly, right? But obviously, my dad probably had some really good investments, but at the same time, he probably had some losses too, right? It's not all 100% gain, but in the long term, he did very well. And back in the day, like, he didn't have a broker, he didn't have the internet. I remember coming home and after supper, my dad would be sitting there on the couch with the Globe and Mail. And I know I'm probably aging myself here, but the Globe and Mail had all of the financial markets. So he basically taught himself, right? So, but this showed me the power of the financial markets. So this is what I want to share with you. So when I talk about financial markets, I'm talking about the foreign exchange, I'm talking about cryptocurrency, I'm talking about stocks and equities. And now there's a whole new platform called NFTs, right? So the way that I learned, so this is what I want to share with you, because through COVID, I have felt been compelled to share this information because there were so many people that lost their jobs. There are so many people that wanted to learn about the financial markets, and all I kept hearing was, oh, I don't have the time. I know I should get into it. I don't have the time. I don't understand it. Well, I found this is what attracted me to this platform. It's a financial education platform. So nobody takes your money. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just like a mentor, an educator to explain how this platform works. So basically, it has different pillars of education, if you will. And from there, once you've mastered whatever, whichever area you want to look into, like I started with stocks. I thought, I want to learn how to stock trade. So there's a whole university education section of this platform that teaches you about stocks from A to Z. What is a stock? Like, that's how simple it was, right? So I learned what a stock was. Like, I got on my own time, got on 7 o'clock every morning. I get up, watch a 5-10 minute video, watch it a second time, watch it a third time, take notes, whatever. And then I remember my first trade. So then once you get the education, then you get access to different platforms and the experts that, like professional trading experts that normally people probably pay $1,000 an hour to. We have 37 experts on our platform that give you trade suggestions. And I remember I was sitting by the pool in Cancun, and on my phone I get a beep, and it said, "Buy Johnson and Johnson." This was in 2019. So did I go and look at the charts and try to figure out what the heck was happening? No, I just trusted the experts. They told me, try this. And so I did.
Debbie,
Yes.
sorry, can I just stop you for a quick second? I'm getting a lot of digital feedback. I don't know if it's just on my end, but I'm just going to turn off my Wi-Fi, so it's going to freeze for a quick second, all right?
Okay, sure.
All right. How's that?
Okay, I didn't have any glitches here.
Yeah, that's weird. On my, it's still coming through all digitally. I don't know why. It could just be the platform. But
okay.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah. So anyways, I have Quest Trade, which is in Toronto. That's my trading platform, and you're entitled to use whatever trading platform you want. So I just went on my trading platform, Quest Trade, put the buy and the details that they told me, which took like 3 minutes to put in. And then that was it. Put it away because I'm on holidays sitting by the pool drinking margaritas. So anyways, the next day they told me to sell. So I just opened up my Quest Trade, pushed the sell button, and I made 26% in 20 hours. So as we all know, the markets are influenced by what's happening in the world, right? So I didn't know, but at the time, you might remember this, that Johnson & Johnson in California were going to court that day on some kind of a lawsuit about the baby powder, I think, something like that. And so, of course, the professionals that are watching this knew that the stocks dropped that day, because what if they didn't win, right? So then they did win the court case, and of course went back up, and that's when I sold and made 26%. I thought, how easy is this, right? So anyways, from there, so I did those stock trades for about a year. And then from there, I decided I was really going to go out on a limb and learn cryptocurrency. So I remember my 34-year-old son said, "You did what, Mom?" I said, "Yeah, I did a crypto trade and I made some money, So anyways, the education is there. It's simplified. It's designed for the average Joe or Jill to learn about these markets. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because it's so easy. Like, I'm 64, so if I can do this, I figure anybody can do this, right? So just to give you a little, like, this was really important to me too, the integrity of the company. So the mother company is called InvestView. The trading and education platform is called iGenius. But InvestView is a publicly traded company, which means that the government is auditing you 4 times a year, right? So you can't produce or file false claims of performance or anything like that, because you'll get shut down, basically. And we're in 37 different countries. Even on our platform, we provide the education in 15 different languages. They've been around for, I think it's 9 years now. But yeah, that was really important to me that they were a publicly traded company. So they're not going to be disappeared tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is too, is that they have an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Now, being in Canada, I think you'll all be able to relate to this, because as I was, doing my due diligence, I thought, well, maybe they give everybody an A+, right? So I tried some McDonald's in my area. Finally, I tried Rogers and Bell. And guess what? They both had F ratings in the Better Business Bureau. So I remember thinking to myself, not everybody gets an A+, right? So yeah, did you have any questions? Or
No,
I
I
know.
think it's like, wow, that's a lot of information, but it's like, man, it's probably so many questions. Well, I want to say, first of all, thank you for educating us, because when it comes to managing our money and investing, women can be a little, like, we can be really hesitant, and we don't feel that we know enough or can learn enough. And I'm guilty of it as well. Like, I have my investments, but I have someone who manages it, and this probably isn't good, but I don't really pay attention to it. It's just like, she manages
Yeah.
it and she does a great job, and I make, some really, really good money, but I don't know how. Right?
Well, and that's exactly where I was sitting. But the one thing I did realize is that whether, like when I had my person looking after, my financial advisor looking after my stuff, I realized whether I win or trade or lose in a trade that she has put in for me, she is still getting paid,
Yes.
right? Whereas now, when I do my own trades, I'm getting 100% of my profits, right?
Yeah.
And yeah. And the other thing I wanted to say is, yeah, a lot of people are, really busy and don't have time to actually get into the whole nuts and bolts of this.
Yeah.
But we have two products or services, I guess we should call them, that are like a set it and forget it. Okay. And one of them, like one of the gifts that I see that we have with this company is that they give us sort of the um, uh, backdoor into platforms that normally only the 5% or the wealthy of the wealthy have access to. And one of them, for example, is a third party partnership that we have with Endotech. So Endotech is a leader in AI technology, artificial intelligence
Mm.
technology. And the way I look at artificial intelligence, it's like 10,000 brains going through all of the data, watching the markets, watching the charts, and making trades on our behalf. So we don't even have to be part of it. So it gives us access to this that normally the institutions, it was actually designed in 2012 to provide AI trading, software trading for institutions like big banks and big corporations. And it costs $125,000 a year, right? Who's got
Yeah.
that kind of money? Me, you? Probably not, right? A
No.
year. So our owner, who he made big money on Bitcoin in the day. So he's like a multimillionaire now, and he wanted to try this platform. He tried it. He loved the results. And so he went to Endotech and he says, look, I know you're just for big companies and they expect you to put down 350K investment, right? And he says, what if I paid this for our company and then all of our subscribers would have access to it? So now this is a big gift, like with a big freaking red bow on it, because now little old me, has access to an institutional level trading strategy that does trades on my behalf. And that's where I've made like big money and I don't have to pay attention. And when you say you don't have time, let me give you an example, okay? Last July, I moved from Barrie to Hamilton, lived for 5 months in an Airbnb waiting for my son to get a full-time job so we could find a house. Then my mom passed in Thunder Bay. So I'm flying from Thunder Bay or Toronto to Thunder Bay, looking after the arrangements, coming back to Toronto. 3 weeks later in October, my dad passes. Come back to
Oh,
Toronto. A week later, my son gets married. 3 weeks later, my son gets a job out here in BC and we moved to BC. Like that was crazy busy, right? But
wow.
my money was still making money for me. right?
Hmm.
I had put, my dad gave me $10,000. I put 9,000 in September, and that had grown to almost 14,000 by November. And I
Nice.
didn't do anything, right?
Wow.
So that's what I like about it. And I mean, the bottom line is the AI technology is going to outperform any one brain or 10 in a financial advisor group or whatever, you know.
Hmm.
AI is here to stay. Like, I was on a cryptocurrency summit last week. Oh my gosh, like, one of the things the guy was telling us, I'm just going to look at my notes here because I wrote like 10 pages of notes. But he was saying, some people are so skeptical. They go, "Oh, crypto's going, it's going to get banned in America. And what are we going to do? We're going to lose all our money." Well, the bottom line is he was showing us all the different people in Congress, like senators, mayors, and um, uh, congressmen that are already into this and pushing for the introduction of cryptocurrency to establish it as a legal tender. Like, there are some states, and even in Canada for that matter, like little town of Innisfil, you can pay your city taxes with Bitcoin. The post office, which is like a federal entity, right, is allowing postal workers, like employees, to get paid in Bitcoin. Like, it's so out there. There's
Hmm.
no need to be afraid of it. Like, what I tell people too, because I find people my age are more skeptical, and I'm going, you know what? You don't need to be afraid of it. You just need to understand it. And how do you do that? By getting educated. So our platform not only provides the education on money and that, but it gives so much on personal development. There's so much mentorship on building different skills now. Like, no matter what industry you're in, you could actually benefit from some of the high profile speakers and mentors that we have access to. It's just like, I feel like I found a gold mine with this, because it's kind of answered all of my questions, and found a a platform where I could learn all of
Hmm.
this stuff and make a difference. I mean, a lot of people out there don't even have pension plans, right?
Yeah.
So this could be a pension plan. A lot of people, Warren Buffett says everybody should have 7 different forms of income.
Hmm.
Like me, I was stuck. I had one. I mean,
Hmm.
you can get hit by a bus tomorrow and be paralyzed. You know what I mean? It's like, you need to be prepared. And the other thing is too, why I decided to make this my mission too, especially for women, to help them become financially fit. I saw Oprah interview Mary Morrissey. I don't know if you know who she is. Very high profile motivational speaker. And she said 1 out of 4 women allow their husbands to do all of the financial stuff, so that they don't even really know where their money is. And I get it. I mean, we already have a lot on our plate and wear so many hats, right? So, but she
Yeah.
says, but why is that a problem? Well, if they decide, well, they die or decide to leave you, whatever, then you're financially stuck. You are not
Hmm.
prepared to look after your finances like you should be. So
Yeah.
that's why I do these online events, helping people become financially fit and just teaching them about it. Like, I'm just about teaching it. Like, you do what you want with the information, but
Hmm.
just know that there's a lot out there that you don't know, right?
Hmm.
Knowledge is power. So if it could help you change, and
Yeah.
3 myths I want to debunk, no, 4 myths actually. One, you don't have to be a financial guru. I was a grade 3 teacher. I wasn't even a math teacher, right? Secondly, you don't need thousands of dollars. 2 of our services that I said were set it and forget it, they're a minimum of $1,000. Okay. The other
Okay.
ones, like if you decide to do Forex trading or crypto trading, you can trade $5, $50, whatever. It
Huh.
even teaches you about leveraging and how to manage your trades, risk
Yeah.
management and stuff like that. So the other myth is that you're never too old. Like I said, I'm 64 and doing this. And what was the other one? Oh, and you don't have to spend hours in front of the computers, because we have experts where you can leverage experts and technology
Hmm.
to get these trades in. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I'm going, I don't have enough room in my brain to start from scratch. Like, these professional traders have been doing it for 30 years. I don't
Yeah.
have 30 years. You know what I mean?
So the set it and forget it platforms like Questrade, you probably you would have like a management fee or something, wouldn't you?
Well, Questrade, yeah, for the actual transactions, there is going to be a charge.
Yeah.
So I mean, but people can pick their own. So Questrade is for stock trading, right?
Hmm.
Whereas Binance is like a coin-based trading. So for trading Bitcoin, and like for some people who don't understand cryptocurrency, Bitcoin was the first one that came out. It's still the strongest one.
Hmm.
Ethereum is the second in line. So those are the two that I'm not going to sell for another 10 years, right? I'm going to hang on to the Ethereum. Actually was created in Canada by a Canadian.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah. But all of the other coins, there's like 14,000 coins out there. They're called altcoins. In other words, alternative coins. Okay. But Bitcoin and Ethereum are the leaders in the race. And even right now, with the way the markets have been very volatile, but that's all the markets. Big cryptocurrency for everything has been very, because of the economy, right? I mean, because of the war, there's so much that impacts the markets. But excuse me. But anyways, what I was going to say about Bitcoin, the Ethereum, like if you don't know anything about it, now's the perfect time to get it. It's almost like it's on sale because it's at an all-time low. And there's two things that really set the market is that it boils down to price and to value. Okay, so price is basically the ups and downs every day, every second, every minute, but the value is how would I say that? It's the value that comes to the market is okay, how many big corporations are buying now? Like Walmart just bought significant amount. So the big corporations are now buying into it, and that's increasing the value of everything because there's just so much out there, right? So everybody in the dip got scared and sold, right? And panicked. Whereas all the big companies, they're like sharks sitting there waiting. And they just jump in and they buy it all. So now the value of it, not the price of it, has increased significantly over the last 2 or 3 months. So that's the part that you need to be aware of is that, okay, if it's low now, if it's on sale, now's the time to be getting in, right?
Yeah. So Bitcoin, that's just like a brand? Is that of cryptocurrency? Is that what that is?
It's a type of coin.
Type
Okay.
of coin. Okay.
So it's all digital. It's all digital. So it's a digital coin. It's the first one that came out in 2008. And it was actually created by the people because it's decentralized. That means it's not going through a centralized bank. And that's why all the banks want to get in on this because, they're not
losing
getting
money.
any. That's right. Yeah. And even like, I don't even keep money in the bank now, except for, paying my bills. Why would I when I get what? 0.03%. And what the banks don't want you to know, maybe a lot of you know this already, is you have money in the bank and they're giving you, say you have $10,000 in the bank and they're giving you interest of 0.03% on a good day, right? They're taking your $10,000 and they're lending it to somebody for a mortgage and they're charging them what? 3%. So where's that discrepancy? Who's getting it? Not you, right? They're getting it. That's why the banks make so much money. So, and even they're trading your money cumulatively, of course, on the Forex market, right? And making huge. You know how much money goes through the Forex market in a day? Forex is just the exchange of foreign exchange, like making money on the movement, right?
Yeah.
It's $4.1 trillion a day, like worldwide, right?
Holy.
So somebody in Denmark buys wood from Canada, there's an exchange of currency there, right? I go to, actually I'm going to Vegas next week, I think, for an event. And it's, and so I'm going to be paying the exchange, like the $500 for the entry fee is now, I think I saw $730. So where does that change or discrepancy in difference go to? It goes into the foreign exchange pot, right?
Yeah.
So $4.1 trillion a day, that's trillion with a T. That's 12 zeros attached to it. Like, that's
Wow.
crazy. Like, wouldn't you like to be part of that little pot if you could,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
for
been
sure.
recently, I think 1997 is when the average Joe could actually access the markets. And of
Huh.
course, then people were just kind of doing their own. A lot of people lost money because you don't become a professional overnight. That's
Yeah.
why I like this platform. It teaches you and it leverages the experts. What else could you
Hmm.
ask for, right?
So how much time would you say that you invest on a weekly basis for, someone like myself who's really busy running, three businesses, managing, well, just life, like a household and everything. Like how?
Yeah. Well, that's why I like the two set it and forget it's, right?
Hmm.
One is like a GIC, you're staking it's NDAO, which is the first liquid coin, which probably doesn't mean anything to any of you, but because it's new cutting edge technology, and it's not volatile, it's not pegged to the Bitcoin and the Ethereum and the other coins that are really volatile. It's in a safe ecosystem is what they did create it.
Mm.
So that one's a 3-year thing. You get right out of the gate. So again, here's where we get access to what the 1%ers have access to, the rich of the rich, is that we get 30% off these NDAO. So you can go on the open market, buy NDAO. Let's say it's $20 a coin today, okay? And we get 30% off. So I don't know what's that, maybe about $13. So if you bought a package of 1,000 today, let's say there's 50 coins in 1,000. So you paid $13. As soon as you buy it, it has the value of $20. So you've made $7 on each coin. There's 50 coins.
Hmm.
So now you're up to 57 coins and you've made 7 times 50, $350 right out of the gate,
Hmm.
right? And you're going to hold it in there. So what happens if it goes to 20, say $20? What if it goes to $100, right? Plus, the other thing that they do is for staking it as a reward for staking it, which just means that you're leaving it in there to help it grow. They're going to give you 15% coin return on coinage a year. So on 1 year, you've gained, I think it's 7.5 with the same numbers I just used, coins. So then you have 57 coins trading for you, right? So they do that over the first 3 years. And after 3 years, so it's locked in there for 3 years. After 3 years, gee, if it's at 100, you might want to take the profits or you might want to roll it over and keep it going, right?
Hmm.
So that's one of them. The other one that I said with Endotech, and that's
Hmm.
the one that made me the money while I was like for 6 months. I didn't even have internet in between the moves, like as far as, getting on
Hmm.
my PC and everything. So, I don't even check that because I know that's long term, right?
Hmm.
That's a long term investment. So,
So
um,
we've talked about like all the benefits. What are some of the risks that are involved?
well, you know what? There's risk in any investment, right?
Yeah.
Like even with the person that's looking after your portfolio, there's
Mhm.
no guarantees. In fact,
Mm.
I've had some people say to me, and this is a warning I'm going to give everybody. We're a publicly traded company, so if anybody comes to you and says, "Hey, do you want to invest? Give me $5,000. I guarantee you it's going to turn into, 15,000 by the end of the month or whatever." Well, that's your first sign, your red flag to turn around and run the other way, right? Because
Yeah.
you can't guarantee anything in the markets. Okay.
Mm.
And that's a fact. All right. So yes, there's going to be risks. And I'm trying to remember of a quote um, about risks. I'm having a little senior moment here. Can't remember.
That's okay.
But basically, there's risks in everything. There
Yeah.
are risks in the market, but the biggest risk, this was it, the biggest risk you can take is not taking a risk. Now
True.
let that sink in, right?
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. I love it.
So yeah, but for me, the biggest risk is not getting educated on it, and
Mm.
not learning and having the opportunity to get in on it, because this is the world's biggest wealth bubble, right? So
Mhm.
different people, like on our
Mm.
platform, there's 8 different vehicles for making money, and you just choose. Like
Mm.
I choose not to do the forex because that's like a hands-on kind of,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't have time to do that.
Yeah.
So I like to set it and forget it. Maybe it has to do with my age and I'm retired, right? I don't want to be spending hours, you know, putting trades in. But
Yeah.
Like
Actually, no, that would be good for me, because I just, stuff like that, I just don't have, I don't have the patience for.
yeah,
That's why I have
yeah,
someone who
yeah,
manages
yeah,
my money,
yeah,
because I just, it's one more thing to learn. And if I could learn it, that would be great. But it's also one of those things like, oh man, it's not something that I'm passionate about learning. If I was, then that'd be different. But it's not really my thing. I want
yeah,
to make some money.
yeah,
But I like the idea of the set it and forget it. And one thing that you pointed out earlier, um, was, women being, well, financially fit, financially independent. And then what happens if, like, her husband is in control of all the bills and everything, and then all of a sudden something happens, like he passes away or he decides to leave her, which I have seen a lot in my
yes,
career as a police officer, happens all the time. And what's really, really sad, not so much, well, it's sad when a partner passes away. But what's really, really sad is, when I see women who've been with their husbands for like 40 years, and then all of a sudden he decides, like, yeah, I want a divorce. I don't want you anymore. And she's been out of the workforce forever. And she's like,
yeah,
well, who's going to take care of me? And it's terrifying. And I'm thinking, no woman should ever be in that position. Like, I do not believe that, and this is just my beliefs, I do not believe that women should hand over all the finances or the financial responsibilities to their husband and
yeah,
not know anything. Like, you should, even if your husband goes to work and makes good money and you're sitting home, you should, like, women should have a part in every bit of the financing, how the money is decided and stuff. Because being a
yeah,
stay-at-home mom, or just just a wife, even if you had no kids, um, it's still a full-time job, because you're managing a household, you're managing a lot
yeah.
of things,
Yeah, and I
right?
think that's where a lot of, women kind of fall off in this category, is that I'm already wearing all the different I get the kids to school, I pack their lunches, I get the do the cleaning, I do the washing, da, 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 so it's like, "Alright, he'll look after the finances." But
Yeah,
that's the danger in that,
yeah,
right? Is that you need to make a conscious effort to know at least where your money is going and
yeah,
maybe have some input in it, right?
yeah.
But I'll tell you something else that with COVID, I feel empowered with this to be able to help people. And I'll tell you my latest sweetest story is Jackie in Ottawa. Actually, had two jobs, was holding down two jobs before Christmas, and with Omicron, got laid off of both. She was pregnant and
Oh,
barely had anything left in her bank account to even pay rent. So she learned about this platform and she started off trading with $80. Now
nice.
now we call her the binary queen because she used this platform to educate herself. She goes, I figured this is like I Destiny saying you got laid off and there and thinking you're going to get educated. This is like my university passport to get educated. So she's learned how to do the Forex binary, which is like a 5-minute in and out, which is another easy one to do. And now we call her our binary queen. She teaches everybody. And, she's
Nice.
going to Cancun because she's Mexican. So she's from Mexico. She's going to Cancun to help train her family how to do this. So
Wow.
it's empowering people who don't know what to do alternatively, but
Hmm.
also that there's something out there that you could take advantage of, to
Hmm.
change your financial trajectory. Even
Hmm.
like, so she's like, because she had the baby in January, so she's
Okay.
a stay-at-home mom, and this is what she does now. And you
Oh,
can connect with anywhere around the world and help people. You know,
that's awesome. I
so
love it. What a beautiful story.
yeah, that's
It's
what I love about it.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you know what? You talked about your story at the beginning, like how you got into this. And one thing that I teach my clients, or when I'm doing like a workshop or whatever, is that often our businesses are started out of our mess, a
yeah,
moment, or a mission. It's
yes,
so true,
yes,
right?
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
how I started my in business for myself. It was out of a mess, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
that the story that you just told of that lady, or in your own story, like, just beautiful. Just take
yeah.
that pain and turn it into purpose. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I like that. Take your pain
Yes.
and turn it. I just heard something yesterday I want to share because, we all have our why, whatever motivates us, like you said. But, and I've heard that so many times. What's your why? What's your why?
Yeah.
So why stands for what hurts you. Isn't that cool?
Nice.
Yeah.
Love
What
it.
hurts you? That is your why. What hurts you, right?
Huh.
So me, it was not having a plan B and having an injury that, I could have been in a wheelchair, right? It was
Yeah.
like, I guess I can't teach anymore, but I never entertained anything else. And I think that's what we need to do, is to start thinking about some kind of a, side gig or another way of getting another income, 2 or 3 or
Hmm.
4 of them,
Yeah.
right? So
That's
there's a lot
fantastic.
out there, just
Yeah.
I would say be careful. And I learned too, because when I was teaching, I like to go away March break. So I got in with this travel platform where I
Hmm.
get big discounts, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, so for about a year, and took advantage of different packages and stuff. And then all of a sudden, one day, they were gone. They were just gone. And so
Huh.
there's the difference. They weren't publicly traded. So nobody kept track of them. Nobody audited them. They poof,
Mm.
disappeared overnight. They took the money and ran. So we never got our last commissions and stuff like that. But I learned the hard way to
No
look for
way.
a company that's publicly traded. That's the difference,
Wow.
right?
That's terrible.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wait. Okay. Well, that's one of those things that you learn, right?
Yeah,
It's amazing the tough lessons that we have to learn, but at
yeah,
least you know what to look out for, and then you can educate others. So
yeah, for
so
sure, for sure.
before we go, tell us about this event that you got coming up, and I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay.
post it in the group as
Yeah.
well.
So this is just, like I said, part of my passion to teach women, empower women to become financially fit. So I go through our platform in a lot more detail,
Mhm.
and showing the different education parts that we have to it.
Mhm.
So it's just a little bit more detail than when I talked today. And there's visuals because, what is it? 65% of us are visual learners, me
Yeah,
included.
yeah,
And so the visuals just help to solidify some of the information that I gave today. Because I know it's a lot of information, and especially if all this is different jargon. I mean, to me, even the word financial, I was like, well, what,
yeah.
I didn't know any of this. Like,
Yeah.
I knew nothing about the financial markets.
Good for
But by
you.
golly, I'll tell you, I'm really excited now that I know. But like I said, teaching's my passion, and
Yeah,
this is what I want to pass on to people.
good for you.
So
It's amazing.
yeah, and if I can leave people with one thought here, it's that money is. I'm just going to read it from my
Yeah, sure.
my notes here. Um, where are you? And I mean, you know what? We're all going to be faced with challenges in whatever business that we're in, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the thing is, there's going to be losses. There's going to be bumps in the road. So what you have to ask yourself is, what did I learn, right? What did I
Mhm.
learn through this storm or whatever? And how did it stretch me to change, or how am I going to grow from it? So never give up, right?
Mhm.
Money. So money is a game. The more you play it, the better you get at it. You're going to get a better experience about how to spend your money, how you should save, how you should spend, how you should invest, where to invest when you play the game of money. So you can't have that scarcity mindset, because scared money don't make money. Remember that, guys
Yes.
or girls. And and the thing is, like if you start going, oh my God, I'm going to lose my money. Well, yeah, you're going to lose some and you're going to win some, right? Be prepared for that. But the truth is, you're probably going to spend it on something else that's not going to gain you any money, anyways, right? Like
True.
buying a new purse or new shoes, right?
Ah,
So,
not that there's anything wrong with that.
yeah. So the truth is, if you're going to spend that money on something else, why not learn how to play the game? Find your
Yes.
market, whether it be invest in stocks, invest in cryptos, and invest in NFTs, whatever. Just
Mhm.
get in the game, right? So
Nice.
you'll have these failures, but failures is what brings success. And money is a game, so play it. Otherwise, if you don't play the game of money, then money will play you. right?
Nice.
And you won't be the winner in that game. So
Love it.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hopefully, people can want. There's no cost to this. It's a free information session. I just want to empower women. So even if out of 50 women that jump on, if 2 of them this empowers them, then I feel I've impacted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Okay, so oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna leave one more thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Where passion and purpose collide, impact is created. So that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
My passion is there in teaching, and this is where I would like to impact on the world.
Good.
Especially women.
Yes, exactly. I agree. Well, that's excellent. Thank you so much, Debbie. I posted some info that you sent me in the chat here. And then also I'll post your event. Like if you want to submit a post, and then I'll approve it, and then I'll pin it to the top of the group, because I think this is really important.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you reaching out and inviting me.
Yeah. Okay. No, this is great. Thanks for being here, and thanks to our viewers for watching. And if you're watching this on the replay, just throw in the comments #replay. All right. See everyone later. Bye.
Okay. Thanks. Bye-bye.